Hi folks, Nancy Rink here. I'm going to step you through how to make a face mask out of cloth. So follow me over to the cutting board. So you can start with one fat quarter. One fat quarter will yield one mask. So here's the cutting. You need an 8x14 rectangle. You need two 2x4 rectangles. And you need 4 1 3/4 inch by 21 inch strips. Now, if you're using a half yard instead of a fat quarter, you'll get 2 of these and then obviously 4 of those, but you would still cut 4 of these, but they would be the width of the fabric. So these are for the ties, this is for the body of the face mask, and this is to finish the sides. All right, next step is ironing our pieces to prep them for sewing. So our first step is, this is your 8x14 rectangle. We're going to fold it and keep it to the folds to you, fold is toward you. Now I've created my little guide over here to give the pleats, and I've ironed a piece of freezer paper to my ironing surface because I'm not just making one of these, folks. I'm making as many as I can make. So what you want to do is, this is going to show you where your pleats go. So you're going to snip, 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 snip into the seam allowance. And I put the guides over here. You'll snip over there. Now I'm going to show you how to put your pleats in the easiest way I've figured out. So for this step, you're going to need, you've got your thing, you've got your hot iron, and you're going to need 6 pins. So we're going to start, I always start at the top with the top fold. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, but when I pull it, you can see the snips there, the 2 snips together. So we're going to go to the bottom snip, crease with your fingertips, and sort of give it a little tug across, and then just fold it up. And you know, we're not sewing anything, you know, it's not rocket science. Put your pin there to hold that, and I give it a press. Okay, now I'm going to my next pair, which are here. Pull, pinch, okay, pin, pin, press. Okay, here's my next one. Pinch, pull, fold, pin, press. Okay. And then I'm going to take my pins and now put them in sideways to hold my pleats in place before I go over to sew. Now, while we're also pressing, you know, let's do as few moving around steps as possible. We're going to take, these are our 2x4 strips, and we're going to fold them in half right there. These little guys will be going here. And then we're also going to take our strips, I've joined them end to end, and you're just going to press roughly 1/4 inch on all sides, both sides. You don't need to turn in the ends because you have a selvage there. It finishes itself. And you're going to do 2 of those, because you can have 2 ties. Okay, so we've got those pressed, and that's going to be it for the pressing, and our next step is going to be some sewing. So we're going to move over to the sewing machine. Here we are at the sewing machine. We're getting closer. So here's our 2x4 strip pressed, and here's our pinned piece. So we're going to lay this on the end, match up the edges, and we're going to just sew a 1/4 inch seam. And we're going to do that on both sides. So here I've already sewn one, so you can see it. So I've sewn the strip on, and then you're going to either finger press it or take it over to the iron and press it, and then flip it over, pull that to the wrong side, to the other side. There is no right or wrong side, and you're going to stitch through that. And I've already done that on this other side. So let me do this right now. This little bit of sewing, and then we'll move on to the ties. All right, See you next at the ties. All right, here we are ready to get these ties rolling. So here's the tie with the pressed edges. So I'm folding it to find the middle, put a little crease. I've already folded my face mask part to find the center, and I've put a pin on both sides to mark the center because we're going to put ties on both sides. So I'm going to show you one side how to do it. The other side is exactly the same. So we're going to take our fold and match it to the pin, and we're going to back this up a little bit because we're going to pull out that seam we folded and just pin it. And now we're going to come down, okay, just sort of flatten that out, and we're going to sew on the sewing machine. You can feel where your edge of your mask is under there. So you can sort of see it, right? So we're going to sew from here to here where the mask ends underneath, and you're going to make sure you back stitch at both ends because we want to make sure these are very sturdy for people. All right, so I'm going to come over to the this position so you can see how to do it. So we're going to just start. You can feel that you're at the end of that mask that I back stitched. We're just going to sew. Get this straightened out. Sew. And you'll feel when you get to the end and back stitch again. Okay? And then you're going to do the same exact thing with the tie on the opposite side. Now, you're almost there. So here's our tie. We're going to fold this and we're going to fold this together. If you want, use your pin again to just hold that in place. Now you can either press or just use your fingers to make this work. So we're going to fold these sides together and we're going to sew them together. Did I pull that out again? Fix my broken thread. We're sewing, 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 sewing. All right, now when we get to this, we got just a little, got a little suggestion. So when we get to where this tie is on the mask, I think it's good when you get to this stress point to give a little back stitch just to reinforce it a little bit. And we're going to do the same on the other end. Back stitch, and then just continue sewing to the end of the tie. So here's your finished mask, all done, and I'm handing it off to Dr. Rink, who's going to show you how to wear it.
Okay, over your nose. First tie is over your ears. Second tie is under your neck, like this. And then to get full coverage, you pull the pleats down, like that. There you are.
So there you have our handy dandy cloth mask. And as you can see, we've been busy making them. So I hope you join me in this mask challenge to help our healthcare providers and to keep our healthy people healthy. Thanks for visiting.